So, does your online business feel like a total roller coaster? One month you're absolutely flying, and the next you're just plunging. If that sounds familiar, this is for you. We're going to talk about how to trade that chaos for control by using a blueprint. It's time to stop just running a business and start deliberately architecting one. All right, let's get real for a minute about the massive gap between the dream of online business and the day-to-day reality. We all start with this incredible vision of freedom and impact, right? But the actual grind? Well, it can feel like a constant battle between what we hoped for and what's actually showing up in our bank account. Yep, just look at this contrast. On the left, that's the Instagram version of being an entrepreneur, isn't it? Laptops on the beach, scaling to the moon. But the right side, that's the reality for so many of us. Juggling a million things, fighting just to be seen, and that constant, gut-wrenching stress of not knowing where next month's money is coming from. And that first point on the right, the inconsistent income, that's the root cause of pretty much all the other problems. Let's pull on that thread. So, how in the world do we tame this beast? Look, the goal isn't to find some magic pill that makes every single month a record breaker. That's not realistic. The goal is to engineer predictability. It's about moving from that feeling of constant financial chaos to a place of, calm control.
This is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you get off that financial roller coaster? How do you create a revenue curve that looks less like a scary heart monitor and more like a steady upward climb? So you can actually plan your life and your business.
The answer is you have to stop hoping for stability and start building it. And we do that with what we'll call income stability systems. The key word there is systems. This isn't about luck or crossing your fingers. It's about architecture. It's a deliberate, structured approach to your finances, just like how an architect designs a building to withstand any storm.
And this system really rests on three core pillars. Think of them happening in this order. First, you build a predictable floor for your income with recurring revenue. That's your baseline. Second, on top of that, you build a financial buffer, which is your safety net for any of those unexpected dips. And third, once those two things are in place, you can finally forecast your revenue, not with fear, but with real strategic clarity. And let's dive a little deeper into that financial buffer, because honestly, this part is non-negotiable. We're talking about having 6 to 12 months of your essential business expenses saved up and completely untouchable. This isn't just a savings account, it's what I call a decision-making fund. It's the difference between saying yes to the right opportunity versus saying yes to the next client out of pure desperation. Okay, so we've got the why. Now, let's get into the how. These are the actual architectural plans, the blueprints you need to build that financial fortress we've been talking about. So blueprint number 1 is all about diversifying your income. Check out how these 3 streams support each other. Your core offer, that's your main thing, but it can be really unpredictable. So you support it with a recurring offer, which creates that stable monthly income floor. Then you add an automated low-ticket offer. This thing becomes a consistent lead generator and a little cash flow machine that works even when you're not, and it feeds people right toward your core offer. See how they all work together? It's a system. Next up, a blueprint for your cash itself, the 50-30-20 rule. This is all about giving every single dollar a job the second it comes into your business. So 50% goes right back into operating and growing the business. Now this is crucial. 30% goes to you, a consistent salary ending that feast or famine cycle in your personal life. And the last 20% gets put away for taxes and building up that reserve fund. This isn't just boring accounting, folks. This is a system for financial sanity. And the final blueprint is your growth engine. You have to forget this myth of the one big, massive launch. Real, sustainable growth comes from a relentless monthly focus on just these 3 simple levers. Get more traffic, convert more of that traffic into customers, and keep those customers around longer. A little 5% improvement in each of these areas doesn't just add up to 15%. It compounds into something way, way bigger. That's where the magic is. Okay, so these blueprints are great and all, but a pile of blueprints doesn't build a house, does it? You need a construction schedule. So let's lay this all out on a 12-month roadmap, breaking this massive goal down into steps you can actually take. So here's how it all unfolds, and I want you to notice the logic here. In the first 3 months, you're not trying to scale to the moon, you're just pouring the foundation, making sure your offer actually works and that you can track your numbers. Only then, in quarter 2, do you build for stability by adding that all-important recurring revenue. Quarter 3 is all about efficiency and optimization, so you can free up your time. And look, it's not until the final quarter that you hit the accelerator and really focus on scale. This disciplined, step-by-step approach, this is what separates the businesses that last from the ones that just burn out.
But you can have the best roadmap and the best blueprints in the world, but they're useless if the builder isn't ready. That's why the final piece of this puzzle isn't a system at all. It's about your mindset. This is the true foundation that holds everything else up.
This is what it means to have the mindset of an architect. It means you're thinking in years, not weeks. It means having the emotional stability to see a slow month not as a complete catastrophe, but just as a data point. And maybe most importantly, it means every big decision you make is driven by cold, hard data, not by the hot emotion of panic or overexcitement.
And this quote, this really brings it all home. The goal is not to somehow magically eliminate the ups and downs of business. That's impossible, right? The storms will always come. The goal is to be the architect who has designed a structure so solid with such a strong foundation and a clear plan that you are prepared for them. You don't just survive the storms, you actually thrive in them.
So at the end of the day, this is the fundamental choice. You can keep being a reactive operator, just getting tossed around by the whims of your business, or you can become its proactive architect, taking control and building something that is truly designed to last. The blueprints are on the table. The only question left is, are you ready to start building?